This podcast episode is sponsored by Palumbo and Bertrand, attorneys at law.
Good day, seniors and active adults. Welcome back to our YouTube podcast, Get Your Weekly Slice, where we protect, inform, and educate you, our seniors and active adults, every week about what you should know as you age. It is about keeping you, our seniors, in the know. This is part 3 of elderly abuse. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail now of additional types of elderly abuse. Deed theft. So deed thefts are the transfer of property to another person in which that person gains legal right to the property. Most cases, it's a quitclaim deed. Quitclaim deed usually costs $100 to transfer one party to another party. Signs for possible deed theft is mental confusion predating signing of the deed, suspicion the senior was defrauded or coerced, and no notary present at deed signing. I've heard numerous times where family members have done a quitclaim deed, unknowingly had the homeowner sign, and then later find out that they were duped by their family, had to go to court to get it redone. So again, a lot of it has to do with the family, the possible deed theft, and that's how it happens. And again, I'm hearing a lot about that as time goes on. There's also foreclosure rescue scams out there. And a lot of that originated when we were upside down in real estate back in 2005, 6, 7, and 8, where people ended up being in pre-foreclosure. And a lot of that precipitated this foreclosure rescue scam. And the trick is that senior homeowners, they try to trick them out of their money by promising to help with their mortgage payments. It doesn't happen. Scammer contacts the distressed homeowner, makes an offer to save the home from foreclosure for a fee. Whatever you do, do not pay any upfront fees for anything to anybody. Scammer drains as much money out of the victim as possible, or the scammer has property handed over to them by having the owner sign for a new loan. I'm seeing a lot of activity out there on these type of scams. Anything to get people to sign over their land or their property. And everyone knows, especially I do. That's why when I have a senior active adult that's looking to sell or transition to a new footprint, I always get it pre-appraised because I want to make sure they get the most money. These scammers don't care about that. They want possession. And what we're seeing in major cities, not necessarily here in the Central Florida area, but in major cities up in the Northeast, Midwest, you're starting to see where people are starting to take control of a person's empty, vacant home. And it's not easy getting them out of that home, because it appears that these people who are moving into the home, taking possession of it, squatting is what it's called, they know the rules, they know the laws, and it's hard to get them out. Police don't even get involved with it. Fortunately, what needs to happen is there needs to be more law or more something more that needs to be done to prevent people from illegally taking over possession of a home. And who's responsible ultimately for the damage, the utility bills? The homeowner who lost control of the home still has the deed, but lost control to these squatters. Whereas some of the others they are literally having that senior or active adult sign over the deed to their property. So know some of the signs that families should know about abuse to protect their loved ones. No recollection of financial transactions is an alert. Unexplained bank account activity, unpaid bills. Now, unexplained bank account activity, it's always the consensus that you want to keep the senior or active adult in control so they don't lose their dignity in making decisions. But then again, you also want to make sure that you are able to oversee the activity of check writing on a monthly or bi-monthly basis to make sure that they're just not sending checks to QVC or to charities that they felt duped by, or individuals who came by and said they wanted to do some work or that they needed work done on their house. So you need to be proactive if you are watching your parent, aunt, uncle, neighbor, and you have good intentions on your part. You need to watch where, who, and what checks they're writing. So documents with strange signatures, you want to look at that stuff. The change in power of attorney, the changes in wills, trusts, or life insurance, new friendships or partners, and missing cash or valuables. Those are all signs that families should know when watching over seniors and active adults.
Do you need help drafting wills, trusts, or administering the estate prior to the death of a loved one? At Palumbo and Bertrand, attorneys at law, we have the experience necessary to guide you through the process. We offer large firm services with a small firm feel, providing you with expert advice and creative solutions to the issues you face. Call Palumbo and Bertrand at 407-960-2835 and schedule your appointment today.
Now, financial abuse in real estate, red flags are: never get to speak directly with the elder person involved in the transaction. The appearance of disorientation or lack of understanding. The person seems unaware of dates and times. The person seems to lack understanding of what the transaction is and what it's all about. Recent uninsured deeds in the chain of title. Change in contact person or other authorized user. Elder borrower not allowed to speak for him or herself, and no documentation to support the third party's authority. Use of powers of attorney or change in grant of the POA. Free and clear property. Documents signed outside of closing. Sales or loan proceeds paid over to somebody other than the borrower or seller. Holder of a POA wants funds dispersed to him or herself. Holder of the POA wants to perform acts beyond the scope of the POA. Be cautious of recent changes in trustees or expansions in trustee powers. and large cash out from a refinance or proceeds being wired into an account not belonging to the senior or active adult. So here's a little prevention, financial elder abuse, the facts and the figures. 10% of Americans over the age of 60 experience some form of abuse. 2% of the incidents of elder abuse are actually reported. And 90% are perpetrated by family members. And how to prevent financial elder abuse? Know the signs of elder abuse and financial fraud. Talk with your loved ones. Educate them on risk, solicitations, and scams. It's exactly what I do with these podcasts and also at my Smarter Senior Seminar Series events. Again, it's about protect, inform, and educate. Get to know who's on your loved one's team, healthcare, legal, and financial. Set checks and balances to minimize the chance of financial fraud. And lastly, becoming familiar with their planning documents. So if you ever need to report elder abuse, Florida law requires that any person who knows or has reasonable cause to suspect that a vulnerable adult has been or is being abused, neglected, or exploited shall immediately report such knowledge or suspicion to the Florida Abuse Hotline, and that number is 1-800-962-2873. Again, 1-800-962-2873 or 1-800-96-ABUSE, ABUSE. So that ends my 3-part series of elderly abuse, financially, most importantly, where it begins, what are the signs, who to look out for, how to oversee that senior or active adult so it is prevented. Because the last thing you want is someone to be taken advantage of. At least that's why I feel comfortable about doing what I do in real estate, is help seniors and active adults go through or make that transition as they age, either to a smaller footprint or into an independent assisted memory care community. Because it's all about protecting, informing, and educating. And keep in mind, I put these podcasts out there and they're named Get Your Weekly Slice, because that's stems from Protect, Inform, and Educate, the acronym of PIE. In closing, I hope you enjoyed today's Get Your Weekly Slice. If you'd like to discuss further today's topic, you can reach me via email at mike@your, Y-O-U-R, Florida, spelled out, Haven, Haven.com, or call me at 407-340-5291 to set up an appointment. I provide a free 1.5-hour in-person meeting to discuss your future plans on aging while providing you a minimum of 3 options to choose from. Don't forget to follow us and like us on Facebook and Instagram. While on my website at yourfloridahaven.com, sign up for my monthly newsletter, RSV to any of my in-person events, which are held at the Orange County Library, Smarter Senior Seminar Series events, and to view any and all of my videos and podcasts. We hope these podcasts are helpful, and if they are, please share with your friends, family, and neighbors by letting them know what we offer as certified senior housing professionals, designated real estate agents, to our seniors and active adults as they age. We're a connector. It is about keeping seniors in the know. Till next time, when you come back to get your weekly slice.
This podcast episode is sponsored by Palumbo and Bertrand, attorneys at law.